Hello, everybody. My name is Jerry, and I will be your guide today. Welcome to another episode of Tripping the Outaouais, a guide to Northern Ontario and Southern Quebec, foraging, wild medicines, everything you need to know to survive this new climate of ours and save some money doing it. Today, we'll be talking about the red clover. The red clover is also known as the Trifolium pratensis, which is in the legume family, part of the pea family. It's a magical plant. It's so medicinal. It tastes good. You can cook with it. You can make medicines with it. It's just a wonderful thing. A lot of people use it for skin disorders, heart-related problems, respiratory infections. So it's good if you have asthma, you have a tea of this in the morning. It'll help clear that mucus out, It's good for colds, cough, seasonal allergies. Yeah, it's just a great flower. It helps with cardiovascular disease, which, a lot of men and especially women nowadays have heart disease. This will help with that, It helps with menopausal symptoms. If you're having big clumps, your blood is too thick, you're drinking good tea of this, it'll help get rid of those cramps. It'll help your blood flow better. It's full of magnesium, calcium, thiamine, potassium, and lots of vitamin C. It will actually help prevent cancer, like breast cancer, prostate cancer, cervical cancer. It'll help prevent it. I don't know what to say. It's such a magical plant. It helps with bone density. It'll make your bones thicker if you have, osteoarthritis or any type of bone disorder. This beautiful little plant is actually made up of 20% protein. It's one of the most protein-filled plants out in the wild. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that, eh? Farmers give this stuff to their cows when the cows get pregnant, and it helps make the milk better for their little cows, and it helps the breast milk, or the teats in a cow's case, produce more milk and a healthier milk for you, for the calf. It's just wonderful. Totally wonderful. So I'm going to be picking some of these things today, and I'm going to be making a tea later on, and I hope you can join me on my journey. But before you pick anything that's wild, anytime, you make sure you know what you're picking. You make sure that you've had multiple sources verify that what you are doing is actually correct, You don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want to hurt others. I'm not a doctor. I'm not pretending to be a doctor, nor will I ever pretend to be a doctor. So you might want to talk to your doctor before you actually drink this tea. You drink this tea, you should only be drinking it for approximately 3 days in a row. It thins the blood. So if you have blood issues, you already have thin blood, you won't want to be drinking too much of this. If you're pregnant, if you're breastfeeding, you already have certain cancers, it's not recommended that you use the red clover. So with no more time, I will pick my flowers and carry on. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you back at home. So you just want to pick the flower tops here. A lot of people will pick these leaves. They're also good, but today I'm only here for the ripe purple flowers, or red. Depends how you look at it. There's many ways to identify this flower. I'm not going to show you that today. And it's also very important when you're foraging to remember, just remember this, okay? Grandfather Sky, Grandmother Earth, Mother Nature gives us all of these wonderful plants. So we don't want to pick all of these plants. We want to leave a lot of plants here so that they could grow again next year, and I could come back and I could harvest it for many, many years to come. Let me take my glasses off so I could look at you in the eye. Be respectful to nature, and nature will be respectful to you. So just picking the little tips. If you got some leaves, that's fine. This whole plant is edible. The roots, the stems, the leaves, the flowers, all edible. But if you're going to be eating the leaves and the stems and the roots, you know, you want to boil it first. Get rid of some of that bitterness. Now you're going to want to be drying this in a humidifier overnight. If you don't have a humidifier, what you're going to want to do is place it on a screen outside where there's not much wind, and you want to fluff it up 2, 3 days, 4 days. You'll know when it's dry. Whoops, I accidentally picked the whole plant. That one wasn't in the ground very good. Okay, so as a test, you get your beautiful, beautiful flowers. Look at these, they're so beautiful. There's not much of a smell to them, but it does make one wonderful tea that tastes fabulous. It tastes fantastic. There's all kinds of flowers in the wild that you could use. We're going to start with this one today because it's a very easy one to recognize. Everybody knows what clover is, but there's false clover out there, so please be careful. With that said, what I'd like you guys to do before you pick this, start making medicines with it or drinking it, is I'd like you to go to YouTube and check out Wild Food Foraging. Red clover, plant protein. It will tell you all the specs on this plant, how to pick it, what's the difference between white clover, red clover, and more importantly, the false clover. You don't want to be picking the false clover, although it's not poison. There's no medicinal properties to it. You could also make fritters with this, which I'll try to teach you in the future. Now, I'm going to go pick more of these wonderful clovers, and I'll see you back at home.